Welcome to the first Different Days instructional video for the working musician.
If you're anything like us, you know how difficult it can be to produce your own music. Not only is the equipment expensive, learning the proper techniques can be a long and frustrating experience.
What we're going to show you in this video is how you can use the equipment you already have available to you so that you can, as quickly as possible, get back to doing what you love, making music.
Today we look at the 12-string guitar. If you prefer, the audio for this video is available in French, Portuguese, and Spanish.
So, to record a 12-string guitar, you have two approaches. You can use a microphone or you can use the DI out of the guitar if you have one. Almost regardless of what microphone you have available to you, you're better off to mic the guitar. It's going to sound more natural than if you use the DI feed from the pickups. I will show you where I put the microphone on the guitar. Don't forget, this position will vary wildly depending on the guitar you have, the type of music you're recording, and how it's going to integrate into the track. What I want to show you is the big difference in sound you can get just by moving the microphone around the instrument, and how much of a difference that can actually make. I break this down into two dimensions. Of course, there's all kinds of wacky positions you can try, but to simplify things, two dimensions: up the guitar neck, down towards the body, and the second dimension is closer to the guitar and further away. Just to give you an idea of what that sounds like, I'll pick a fixed distance and then I'll get Mathieu to play, and I'll move the microphone up and down the instrument for you. As you can hear, there's an absolutely huge variety of sounds you can get just by moving that microphone around, and you have to pick the one that you like best for your music. Generally, the most balanced sound is going to be somewhere around the 12th fret here. I will now show you the function of distance. Although the tone doesn't vary as much as moving it left to right, you have a really big difference in the proximity of the instrument, whether you hear it as being very close or really far away. You'll also notice that as we get closer to the instrument, there's a big bass increase as well, and this is that proximity effect due to the directional pattern in your microphone. Usually for distance, depending on the type of music, you'll end up somewhere 6 to 8 inches away from the guitar. Besides the microphone position, another choice you have is the type of microphone you are going to use. You may only have one available to you, and in that case you won't have a choice, but there are two main types of microphone you'd likely use to record guitar: a condenser microphone and a dynamic microphone. A dynamic mic, like a Shure SM57 or 58 that you might have at home, can be perfectly good for this. But if you do have the choice of using a nicer condenser microphone, I would suggest that, as it tends to be more detailed, capture more of the very high frequencies, and likely even have a fuller bass as well. I will now give you a quick example of the difference between these two types of microphone. So, I have shown you the big differences you can get just by moving the microphone around, or the differences you can get by using different microphones. The last thing I want to show you is the difference between recording in mono with one microphone and recording in stereo with two microphones. The idea behind stereo is that you record with two microphones and pan one of those microphones all the way to the left in your stereo image and the other one all the way to the right. It's pretty typical for people to record stereo guitar like this, left and right. But the problem with that, as you saw earlier, is that you don't get nearly the same sound in each microphone because you're in vastly different positions on the instrument. What I like to do is make a vertical stereo setup instead of having them horizontal. The microphones are vertical. You get a similar sound in each microphone and a nice big stereo spread across your speakers instead of a sort of disconnected sound on each side. I will now show you what the difference is between our previous mono technique and this stereo technique, my personal favorite. As you can see, this stereo technique, if you need it, creates a nice big wide stereo image with lots of detail that can be very useful in your mixes. Have fun recording!